You're all fucking fuzzy today. This is the Hype Podcast. I am the host with no name.
I'm DJ Oh So Fresh.
We're kicking it with you every single week right here on the Hype. And guess what? We got a great show for you today. Just like every week, we got the 5 minutes of funk coming up. We're going to talk Dallas Cowboys. We're going to talk Trump getting involved in daylight savings time.
Trump
Alex
again.
Trebek being nude in Portland. Nude in Portland, folks.
Are you? Hold on, you got to break that up. You said Alex Trebek being nude in Portland. You just went one into the other. We do not have a story about Alex Trebek being nude in Portland.
I'm building suspense here,
I mean,
folks. And we're going to talk more big cat attacks around the United States. And today on the Hype.
Yeah, it sucks.
Our celebrity takedowns are the highest they've ever been, and are people really profiting off of celebrity takedowns? We're going to get into that, but before we do, Oh So Fresh, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing? Now let me tell them. Oh, hold on, I have to tell them how to get in touch before we go anywhere. Because I think you're just tripping off Alex Trebek being nude in Portland. I think you're getting a little turned on. Pause. So you can hit us up on the Hype line. That's 503-776-0167. Let us know what you think. We definitely want to hear your feedback. And you know what? We'll play your message on the show. Yes, were we rude to someone when they called and left us a message? Yeah, because we're fucking rude. And you don't want to get the Bozak. You don't want to have a clip of you on YouTube being cussed out. So say some nice stuff on the Hype line or tell us we suck. And yeah, like I said, do not tell us to kill ourselves in the comments. You call and you say that.
Don't be a big wussy. And if you're extra nice, we may introduce you to Diesel Fresh.
Diesel Fresh. No, I gotta be cool. We might have young listeners. I don't need anybody making a documentary on me.
Hey, dude, if somebody wants to make a documentary on you, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to take just to get fucking famous, especially off your ass.
You know,
you've been around the block, so I think you can handle it.
You know, if they're gonna make a documentary on me, they should just do it over the weekend. Over the course of what a weekend's like. The show was late because I had a hellacious weekend, and that's what's happening. I mean, yeah, just premium fucking up. I'm doing the show a day late.
The show was late because you forgot your morning after pill. That's what it was.
That's what it was, man. I really was looking for a plan B.
Yeah. And the plan B was not to fucking listen to people talk about LeBron James all weekend. So he will absolutely not be in our 5 minutes of funk today. I cannot fucking stand hearing any more about that guy.
You know, I like listening to my sports shows in the morning. That kind of gets me going because it's man drama. Let me just explain to you. You know, men don't watch soap operas. We listen to sports shows because it's the same drama. Like there's 5 sports shows in a row that come on like Fox Sports Network. You know, you'll have the early one with Nick Wright. Nick never played any type of sport, right? And Chris Carter. Chris Carter did so much blow they kicked him out the NFL. Chris Carter, no, allegedly. And then you get to the one with Skip Bayless where he just talks shit. Yeah, and LeBron didn't wear the right shoes today, where he just talks all this shit. Then you have Colin Cowherd. Then 5 shows, and everyone has at least 3 segments on LeBron.
Dude, the reason LeBron James moved to the Western Conference, in my opinion, is because there was too much talent in the Eastern Conference when Kawhi Leonard went to Toronto with Kyrie Irving over there at Boston. And all these fucking young cats coming up in the East, dude. LeBron James wasn't the fucking head of the snake over there, so he moved to the Western Conference where it was a little bit lower key. We have a few more teams over here that really aren't doing much. The Clippers, the Sacramento Kings. I would say the Denver Nuggets, but they're out there slaying it, and nobody's talking about them.
See, here's my big problem. I live in Portland. And, by default, I am a Blazer fan. And when I watch this national show, I'm like, I can't hear shit about my team. Like, man, I mean, there is nothing else going on except for this guy. You know, this guy. I mean, he fucking. I even got to see. I get to see which exclusive Nikes he wears. But you know what? I'm not gonna give. I'm not gonna give him any more time because I mean, you know, he's the greatest of all time. Right.
No, he's not. He's the greatest whiner of all time.
You know, but
Jesus Christ.
But I'll just wait for fucking Space Jam. Over the weekend, Captain Marvel came out. I did not go see it. I heard Captain Marvel is to feminism what Black Panther was to being black. So if you were down, if you one of those bitches that was burning bras back in the day, you'll probably want to go see this movie.
Let me tell you a little bit about Captain Marvel because I know somebody who went and saw it, and it was me. That movie is tremendous in many ways, and it's lacking in many other ways. And by lacking, I mean, you know, we could have used a little more Wonder Woman style clothing instead of like the big ass fucking space jumpsuit the whole movie. I did like the helmet situation.
It's a skin tight spacesuit.
It's not though. It's really not. Either that or I'm confusing Brie Larson with the porn star Brie Olson.
Oh, okay.
So those two things are very, very possible.
And let me tell you, to be honest,
if you're a fan, go ahead.
I don't have to go to the movies to see some girl in skin tight clothing because all I have to do is just walk down the street because girls are flashing ass everywhere. Why are we even paying to go get in the movies? Everywhere I go, I mean, shoot, if there was a booty alert thing, man, it would be going off all the time. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. I know you have important content to share with the rest of the world.
The only important content I have in regards to this movie, so I won't spoil it for Larry because I know he's the only one who listens avidly for my spoilers. The storyline was pretty good. The suit was pretty good. Brie Larson, pretty good. Samuel L. Jackson, always a classic, always. People are very, very upset about one particular scene in this movie about Samuel L. Jackson's Nick Fury, and we all know what it is. We all know. We want to know how Nick Fury lost his eye. I have not really pissed about that.
I have not seen the movie, but I've heard about him losing his eye, and to be honest with you, when you go see the movie, you will understand that he lost his eye in the most bitch ass way. Be so fucking hardcore, to be so super fucking hardcore. I am Nick Fury. I am the head of the Avengers. You know, like, check out. You know who I have working for me, and I call shots to? Captain America, Black Panther, Thor, a god, a freaking Nordic god. Well, they changed his origin story, but a fucking god. And you know what? I lost my eye in just a super bitch ass way. I mean, it makes me question his leadership abilities. And then, you know, one more thing about Miss Captain Marvel, and I have not seen the movie, but where was she when the aliens invaded New York? I mean, where was she when they created a fucking killer fucking robot that was going to fucking tear up the whole fucking world? I mean, I'm just saying.
So they explain that. They reveal all that stuff in the movie. So you just have to watch the movie, and all that stuff is explained very, very well in that particular storyline. But that's kind of what threw me. There's a few scenes where you really have to pay attention. And you're like, wait a minute, how are they going to tie all this in to Avengers Endgame? And things of that nature. And I'm being intentionally vague because I don't want to spoil it for folks because it is a really good movie. But you have to sit there and really kind of go, okay, I'm just going to let this play out because they throw a lot at you in the first like half an hour, 45 minutes. And then after that, they kind of start to wrap everything up very, very slowly. And you're kind of like, okay, I thought this movie would have been a little more upfront, but it's kind of Tarantino-esque in that fashion, where they throw a lot at you and then they wrap the story around for you all nice and tight in a bow at the very end.
You know, it's just one of those things. You ever think about that? Like when you're watching like a comic book movie or something, and they do have to save the fucking world, and like nobody's around. Even like with Batman, Superman. Batman shows up at the city after Superman's tore it up. Like, what were you doing? Like, where were you hanging out when he was like when they're destroying the fucking city? Like, where are all these other people at? I mean, why?
He had to finish his coffee.
Oh, he had to finish his coffee. You know what?
Maybe his morning workout. I don't know.
We have a lot to get to, so I just want to say
get to it.
I recommend that you say fuck LeBron James. So these are the two things you can take from this: fuck LeBron James, talk about the Blazers more, and go see Captain Marvel because it's been recommended by the host with no name.
That's 3 things, but right now we're about to get into 5 things. Oh, so let's break down the 5 minutes of fun.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
First up on the 5 minutes of funk, we have sports. And, ladies and gentlemen, America's team. More bad news for Dallas Cowboys. The D lineman, David Irving, announced his retirement on social media by smoking a big fat joint.
That's how I want to quit
He was already on his third. He was already on his 3rd suspension for violating drug policies, so he was kind of on the way out anyway.
Really, for me, all I gotta do is play like 2-3 seasons in the NFL, and I'd be good for my whole fucking life. And yeah, hey, could you imagine calling in? You call your boss, because we all have our bosses like personal cell phones and shit, right? So you just sit there, you call your boss. Nah, I'm gonna FaceTime you. Nobody FaceTimes their fucking boss. And you FaceTime your fucking boss and you're smoking a big fucking joint. Well, hey, not gonna be in today. It's not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it in today.
Next up, we got politics for you right now, and Donald Trump is sticking his finger in everything. Let me tell you all about this. Daylight savings time, a federal law around the United States. Donald Trump is saying, you know what? Just get rid of that shit. Get rid of it. It's pointless. Mark Rubio implemented some legislation back in, 2017, 2018.
Marco Rubio.
That said, hey,
he can do Tupac really good. Go ahead.
Yeah.
He knows all the Tupac lyrics.
Yeah, he implemented some legislature back in 2017, 2018 to just say, hey, let's get this shit out of here. Never got any traction until this year. Donald Trump tweeted, hey, let's get rid of it. It's okay with me. Donald Trump, you got more important shit to do, man. Fuck daylight savings time. Worry about the national debt. Worry about our fucking borders. Fuck daylight savings time. What's the matter with you?
I'm going to tell you, daylight savings time fucked me up in so many different ways. I'm still trying to recover.
Well, speaking of recovery, this week in entertainment news, Alex Trebek announces that he has stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, I don't know if you know this, but pancreatic cancer is one of the most deadly cancers that's out there right now. It's a terrible disease, let alone having stage 4. We have to say, and pardon the terrible pun, but can I get who has 6 months to live for $500, Alex?
So, yeah, wow. That's pretty fucked up. That's pretty... But this is funny because you're being light about it. You're making light of it. And Vanna White did too. Because here's her tweet. Here's the clue. He has the strength and the determination to beat his cancer diagnosis. The response. Who is Alex Trebek? My family and I are sending tons of healing prayers to you, Alex. I mean, come on, bitch. I mean, come on. Why turn it into a fucking joke? I mean, come on. I mean, goddamn. I mean, the man has fucking cancer. You're just like, yeah, who has the... Come on. Why you just set up a fucking meme? Or, you remember that old Bad Luck Barry, where the guy was like, had successful show for 30 years, gets cancer. I mean, shit like that.
Well, I'm pretty sure that, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy are arch rivals in some fashion or another.
Oh, you got that all fucked up. You got that all fucked up. They're made by the same company. They record right next to each other.
Next up, number 4 in local news. 911 got frantic calls around Portland the other day about a man jogging completely naked. And when police approached him, he cited that it is not illegal to be nude in Portland if your intent is not to arouse. And lo and behold, he was correct. You know what that means? The naked bike ride, all the other nude events around Portland, are completely legal. We can go smoke a joint on the fucking street corner and be naked and not give a shit.
There's too many sharp and pointy things on my bike for me to be trying to ride around naked. Just trying to say. and really, and maybe I'm just too into me, but if I'm naked, I'm trying to turn you on. I'm serious. What the fuck? Yeah. I am trying to arouse. Hell yeah. Because if I'm naked, I'm getting a shitload of looks. I mean, hell yeah. Why don't you? If I'm going to walk through the mall naked, yeah, I want someone to be aroused.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that particular conquest is for me. Like, I'm a bit self-conscious on that, so I don't think I'm running around Portland naked for anything.
Well, it feels like a black and white thing. You know, either you're naked or you're repulsed by it. I mean, you're aroused or you're repulsed by it.
I need you to go ahead and pause on that, because you know the stereotype between black men and white men.
I know the stereotype, but that's not. But but you got the workout guy body, so you know what I'm saying. They'll excuse your Johnson, but I'm just saying it's either one or the other. If you walk past somebody naked, if you're naked and you walk past somebody, you're gonna think, are they into it or do they think my shit sucks? It's one or the other.
Very true. And last but not least, now that's news, and you're not going to believe this, Oso. You mentioned the workout body, and this is one of the reasons I'm glad I have the workout body and common sense. Do you remember that dude in Colorado who got attacked by the mountain lion and strangled it to death?
That's gangster.
Well, it turns out that it was only a 3-month-old cub of a mountain lion, and it was only about between 45 and 65 pounds, according to the law enforcement agency, the Fish and Wildlife found it.
Hold on, motherfucker. A 40-pound dog will fucking hurt you.
No, I get it, but it's not a full-grown mountain lion. Is my point. You want to talk about a full-grown mountain lion attack? There was a woman in Arizona who climbed a jaguar enclosure to take a selfie with the fucking big cat, and the thing tried to eat her. Are we surprised? No. Why didn't you motherfuckers just let her get eaten?
You know, it just gets me. I'm sitting there like, you're sitting there. I'm going to finish this motherfucker the fuck out because you're fucking this off. Right here, a 40-pound fucking mountain lion. That would, a 40-pound dog, like if a fucking golden retriever fucking jumped up on you, buddy, you might have to fight that off. You think you just beat his ass? And we're talking about a mountain.
Yes.
So maybe I'm not tough enough. A 40-pound mountain lion jumps on me, motherfucker, I'm killing it too. Hey, PETA, if you're listening, hey, thanks for listening, because you will be our 9th listener. But that is the 5 minutes of funk.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, and I listen, I understand there's a difference between a 40-pound dog and a 40-pound cat, okay? But, dude, a full-grown fucking dog, like, imagine a fucking, like, full-grown German Shepherd, right? Yeah. Maybe 70, 80 pounds. That thing is going to fuck you up. It mainly has just teeth, okay?
What do you think a fucking mountain lion has?
No, it has teeth and claws. It has teeth and claws, right? But what I'm saying is, you can't just fucking sit here and be like, yeah, man, I fought off a fucking mountain lion. It was the biggest, most scariest thing I've ever seen. And when they fucking go find the body, it's like the size of a fucking 12-year-old. Like, no. It's a 40-pound fucking cat.
It would be that motherfucker that walks around with a mountain lion skin hat. Like, I really did something. I really made something happen. I know a 40-pound house cat, not scared of that. Not in the least bit. That motherfucker's obese and there's something wrong. You see a 40-pound house cat, I'm afraid for his own life. Because that motherfucker's about to have a fucking heart attack.
Dude, exactly. That's all I'm getting at. It's like, okay, it's a 40-pound cat, and the law enforcement officials of the Fish and Wildlife of Colorado stated that it had looked starved and possibly like neglected and or orphaned by its,
Oh, you left that part out. You left that part. I didn't read the whole story, man. I didn't know those facts. I didn't know the thing was like it was like decrepit. Like he was like a fucking what is that? A fucking vulture? He fucking he found the motherfucker on his last breath and then just. You ever see The Sopranos? There's a scene in Sopranos where Tony's little cousin is on his last breath, and Tony could call the ambulance, or Tony could just let him die there. So Tony just puts his hand over his mouth. Yep. And that's probably what the motherfucker did. Man, you made it sound like there was some kind of battle there. No, that motherfucker was already dead.
That's kind of my point.
He had to fight.
The dude himself was like, yeah, I was in a fight for my life and blah blah blah. Like, no, bitch. That thing was 40 pounds and fucking half dead. All you had to do was put your fucking foot on its mouth and it was dead.
That's what my story would be. I don't care. Shit, that could have been a newborn. Fuck that. I beat down a fucking mountain lion. And now we got to get going. We're running out of time. Let's get to the hot topic.
Well, you mentioned being beat down, man. And in 2019, there is no shortage of celebrities getting beat down, and people are profiting off this. I mean, can you believe that people are still trying to profit off of Michael Jackson after he's been dead for so long? Can you believe that shit?
Michael Jackson is probably the most profitable dead motherfucker ever. I mean, because the presidents don't get paid for being on the bills. So I mean, he's probably one of the, because they've made what, almost $2 billion off the guy since he's died.
Oh, dude, yeah.
He was broke as a motherfucker.
$2 billion at least.
He was on Earth broke like a motherfucker, chilling.
Yeah, yeah, right. No, and I find it very interesting that like a couple of these folks come forward, when they're having financial troubles. Apparently, two of the victims, the 7 and 10-year-old boy who are in their 30s now, come forward when they're in financial turmoil to bash Michael Jackson. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. I wasn't there. I've never been to the Neverland Ranch as a child or an adult. I don't know what the fuck happened.
And you are in the right age group. You are the perfect age to be at fucking Neverland. I was too old.
But what I don't understand is either A, that's one hell of a coincidence that you're in financial trouble and all of a sudden you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of bashing a music icon. And I say a music icon because his music is legendary. People still play it in the club. They don't play it on radio stations anymore because it's been banned around the world because of all this alleged nonsense. My question is, why didn't they convict this guy when he was alive? All right, you got this R. Kelly shit going on right now. R. Kelly's still around. He can get taken down right now. He's not dead. Fucking leave the man be dead. R. Kelly, focus on him. That guy's fucking weird anyway. And how are you R. Kelly and not able to fucking afford your own bail? For fuck's sake.
What's fucking me up about the whole, it's just, these people are profiting off this. This is not something that's done for the public good. It's done for profit. That Escaping R. Kelly or whatever the documentary was, they made a lot of fucking money off that. You know what? I tuned into the Lifetime Network to watch a piece of that shit. And there was plenty of ads. Yeah. I mean, they knew what they had on their hands. And are these victims, is this done in like some kind of nonprofit way just to benefit the victims, or is all this money going to charity to support charities? I mean, did the cameraman volunteer his time to come down and do this documentary? That's what you have to ask. I understand that, this motherfucker, if you have information that will convict someone, why don't you just go to the goddamn police? That's what I'm missing. If you have information that's going to put R. Kelly in jail, hey, you have a whole bunch of conclusive information, interviews, then just take that shit to the police. No, I'm going to make a buck, fool. I'm sure going to make a buck. And
that's what blows me away. It blows me away that they let people do this fucking bullshit.
I look at it's one of those things, and we've talked about this before. Do you trust the law or not trust the law? Because when your brother is up on charges for selling crack down the street from your house. You hope that motherfucker lies and gets away with it. It's cool. But when it's something else, when it's somebody else, man, the law doesn't work when it doesn't convict him. I was not there. I was not in any of these places with R. Kelly. I have no idea what happened. I know that it is a great ratings grab to lead with the story. Man, Saturday Night Live? Saturday Night Live, you have to kind of see them as a bit of opportunists. Because this R. Kelly thing, there is nothing redeemable about this. There is nothing entertaining about the man. If what is alleged happened, there is nothing entertaining about that. When did people's misery become entertainment? Because there's nothing entertaining about Michael Jackson touching little boys. Michael Jackson made very entertaining music. I love it. I will listen to Beat It and have a different meaning behind that. But that's
my exact point. That is my exact point, dude. You can't sit here and tell me that these, your Harvey Weinsteins, your R. Kellys, your Michael Jacksons, you can't tell me all this stuff isn't about some personal vendetta and financial gain. Because sure, the abuse happens. I get it. But the example you just gave, if your brother gets arrested for doing whatever, you're going to sit there and go, nope, not him. You prove me wrong? Then okay. But until then, it's not him. And when these people take these fucking facts and just throw them all over social media and the internet and the news, and I say news in air quotes because it's fucking bullshit nowadays, they don't get a proper trial. You don't get innocent till proven guilty. You get guilty in the court of public opinion, point blank, period. That's it. There's been 2 or 3 football players since 2002 till now that have been accused of raping women, raping young girls, things of that nature. And one football player, it took him 16 years to prove his innocence. He sat in jail for 16 years until it was proved that she lied. She never even had sex with him. And he was like full ride scholarship, going to the NFL, defensive linebacker, and bam. Does he get those millions of dollars that he would get playing in the NFL? No. Does he get any compensation from that girl or her family? I certainly fucking hope so.
With R. Kelly, I watched that interview. I watched the beginning of it, and I'm disgusted by what is alleged that he has done. But his outburst, I think the man should demonstrate more self-control personally, but his outburst in a way seemed a bit justified. I mean, on the slim chance that man is innocent, on the very slim chance that man is innocent, yeah, I'd be on TV kind of pissed off too. Really, and because he's really there. There's evidence, but is there really evidence? Because you think about all the stuff that they're able to bring up in a court of law, all this stuff would have to be ruled on. I mean, some of the stuff, I watched that documentary, the R. Kelly documentary, and everybody that fucked with R. Kelly was trying to benefit off fucking with R. Kelly. There's too many stories about, he was going to help me with my music career, and then it turned into this. And there's multiple stories of that. I'm like, we trusted him. I mean, there's motherfuckers that sent their fucking daughter over there to hang out with R. Kelly after the P tape.
Yeah.
How is R. Kelly in trouble for that?
Exactly. I like that you bring up people who are trying to benefit off this. So let me throw a little curveball at you here and ask you this. I was talking to a couple comedian friends of mine, and they brought up the fact that R. Kelly hasn't made a hit in quite a while. Now, you look back on those, when the accusations about Michael Jackson came out, he was in a bit of a slump. He hadn't made a hit in a while. You look over at the Harvey Weinstein incident. Was that man on a hiatus? Do you think any of those things correlate with these accusations? Meaning, if R. Kelly was kind of down and out and people were like, well, maybe he can't benefit me anymore. I'm going to throw him under the bus. You think that is a legitimate concern?
I think that is legit. You know, if we can't benefit off this guy. Now, Michael Jackson, I remember when the original allegations came out, I mean, he was still, I mean, he was riding on Dangerous. Dangerous wasn't his biggest album ever, but he was still riding on Dangerous. But, you know, I think where a lot of this started is, it all goes back to OJ. I mean, that's the first time that was one of the first times we had 24-hour news cycles and we had things where we could constantly get on this. And, you know, I think one of the biggest profiteers off the misery of celebrity is TMZ. I can see that. Their whole brand is built off that. And yeah, nobody's interested in justice. Nobody. In no way do I feel like...
And it seems nobody's interested in the facts either.
No, nobody's really trying to put R. Kelly in jail. It is better for R. Kelly to be out of jail. It is easier to profit when he is out of jail. If R. Kelly remains out of jail and skates on this, then they can come back next year and make another documentary about how the courts were so stupid and they got it so wrong. But that doesn't... that's what they do, ain't it?
No, that's exactly what they do. They've been doing it for years and years. Go back, you can go back to the 90s and look at the Tupac Shakur incident where he had the party at his hotel in California, was it in New York? I actually think it was in New York.
Yeah, it was out
working on the East Coast for that, and some girl gives her number to one of his guys. He calls her up, has a party at the hotel. She comes down a couple hours later and said that she's been raped by Tupac, and there was like 17 people in the room.
Yeah, and you know who benefited off that? MTV News all day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fucking Kurt Loder, like, oh yeah, there's more updates on Tupac today. I understand the court of public opinion, but I think that these pieces are slanted. You don't have Walter Cronkite, Dan Rather, Tom Brokaw, you know, motherfuckers like that who just give you the news, the straight news, and then to fuck it all up. I don't know what's in the water in Chicago because you got R. Kelly on one side and then you got Jussie Smollett on the other.
Dude, they are definitely drinking the same shit. No matter what you think.
So, you know, it's been a hell of a week, and I want to let you guys know what I learned. So today this week I learned. It's a very simple thing. It's another thing that we've all been lied to about. You know, we call that segment the hot topic because I was inspired, not by the shitty store in the mall, but I was inspired by the Hot Pocket. Because I was like, Hot Pockets, but... the irony is, when you buy a Hot Pocket, it's actually not a Hot Pocket. It's a cold pocket. You have to bring your own heat. And today I found that out that you've been lied to for years about Hot Pockets. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's a very valid point, sir. I have to say that this week myself, I too learned that negative 16-degree weather is no longer just cold. It just hurts your entire life inside and out. And you don't want to know what happens to the nether regions in negative 16-degree weather.
I was just going to ask,
when you don't have proper snow attire.
I'm like, I mean, does that shit freeze while you're taking a pee?
I didn't want to find out, so I just went in my pants.
Hold up. Wait.
Oh, so you already know, so it's about that time to go. This is the Hype Podcast. I am the host with no name.
I'm DJ Oh So Fresh.
We're kicking it with you every single week right here on the Hype. Don't forget to check out our pals over there at Fortress Property Management, handling all your property management needs. Their phone number is 503-752-8519, or hit them up www.fortresspropertymgmt.com for all your property management needs in the Portland metro area. And that's a lot of talking.
Yeah, and when you call over there, make sure you ask for Aaron. He does. You check out Fortress. They They have Fortress Friday. Every Friday at noon, they do a live segment where he answers all your questions about renting. And I don't know how many questions you could ask, because how do you rent? You just pay your rent on fucking time, and that's how rent works. This is the Hype Podcast. We want to thank you for checking us out. This is the podcast after the podcast. Daylight savings, it's kind of fucked me up. It feels like it's way too early in the morning right now, but we wanted to be here. Thanks for checking us out. And if you're checking us out on X-Ray, thank you again. We're out of here. This is the Hype Podcast.
Fuck it. We'll do it live.